Hello boxing fans, this is the first in a new series I'm doing and I'm calling it Mr. EBN's British Boxing Bonanza. And I'm calling it that because I'm taking all of the fights that I don't think are good enough for me to do a particular video on each month, and I'm putting them all together in one big video to make a bonanza of British boxing. To start this off, there's only one guy to talk about, and that would be Kell Brook, or Special K, mate. And Kell Brook is fighting on the Amir Khan undercard in America. He's going over there to show Americans jab. It's from Sheffield, and he's flaming great. He calls himself Special K, mate. Now, when you look at his opponent's record, you can see that his opponent has never fought anyone of any note. His opponent is from Puerto Rico, and his name is Luis Galaza. Never heard of him. And he's got quite a few knockouts on his record, so he can punch, and he's basically being picked because you can tell that he's going to have a good go at Kell, and then basically Kell's going to knock him out. That's how it looks like it's going to go at the minute. It looks like he's going to come at Kell, and Kell's going to do his switch hitting and his counter punching, and then basically Kell's going to show him jab, but then he's going to show him hook, and then Luis is going to be counting stars, mate. I don't know if that was a Sheffield accent or a Manc accent. Anyway, it was a good accent. It was really awful. Point being, after this fight, he should get himself a big bout, and I'm thinking he's been calling out Mike Jones from America for absolutely ages, and he's not having none of it. And I think this fight should happen next year, and that's the fight I want to see. After this, I'm looking at Prince Aaron fighting for the British light middleweight title, and he's defending his title against a guy called Brian Rhodes. And this is a fight where Prince Aaron, we expect, because he's tall, he's grown into his body now, he's starting to get them big knockouts. We're expecting him to knock out his opponent, possibly later on, but Prince Aaron, he's going places. He's been tested really early, he's been tested toughly, he's been matched really toughly. I think he also lost a fight to that Islamic fundamentalist terrorist, I can't remember his name. He used to box anyway, but he stopped now. He lost the fight to him once, but there's nothing wrong with that. He was quite good in before he was all mental. And then now Prince Aaron, he's back, he's looking good, and he's only like 24 years old. Next, we're moving up to cruiserweight, and we're talking about Tox Owa versus Tony Conquest. Now, Tox in this fight has got the experience, but he's coming back after a long layoff, and he's now fighting at cruiserweight instead of super middleweight. Also, he's moved into 39 years of age now, so timing's not on his side. But the only good thing is the British cruiserweight scene is ultra weak. There's like no good cruiserweights in the division. They're all awful. The best one is Ola Afolabi, and I don't even think he's English. So that's the best way to describe the British scene and the cruiserweight scene. So either of these two could win. I think I'm going to go with Tony Conquest on the fact that Tox is a bit old, he's slowing down, he's a slugger who's not got the power at this weight. And Tony Conquest, even though he doesn't have power, he will have power in this fight because he's fighting a pumped up super middleweight. Oh, next is Big Enzo Macronelli. He's now fighting a light heavyweight. That was my Welsh accent, which I think is quality. And he's fighting against the guy called Giorgi Marosi or something like that, and he's basically being set up against the guy so he can get a good victory at light heavyweight on his record. Now, something about Enzo Mac is we all know that he was having trouble all the time making the cruiserweight weight limit, and because of that, he was fighting big guys who were slimming down and boiling down from the 15 stone limit while he was trying desperately to make 14 stone, and the end result was he was getting knocked the fuck out, and that's the only way you can look at it really. So right now he's back down, he's fighting at light heavyweight, and this is his last hurrah really. The moment he loses is the moment that he's going to have to retire, and I think that he's going to get set up now for a fight with Nathan Cleverly, which I'll actually like to see, to be perfectly honest. Next, I'm moving on to Anthony Crolla versus Willie Limond. Obviously, Willie Limond is the guy that we know who first, well, not even do it, he wasn't the first person to, but he put down Amir Khan in his fight against him, and then Amir Khan went out and broke his jaw. Yeah, point being, he did well against Amir Khan. He did have good speed, but he's sort of regressed since then. He lost the fight to Eric Morales, by knockout, in which he was totally dominated by the aging Eric Morales. And now, good old Crawler, he's an up-and-coming fighter. I think he's on Hatton Promotions. He's actually quite quality. He can box, he can bang, he can do it all, and I'm going with Crawler in this one for a knockout win. Next, and this is one of my favourite, I swear down, favourite all-time British boxers, Ryan Rhodes. He's making a comeback fight, and this is really his last hurrah, and I'm going to watch every single one of his fights until he does lose, because I think he's absolutely quality. And he's fighting against a guy called Serhei Komitsky. I don't know where he's from. Sounds like he's from Eastern Europe, maybe. Point being, this is, like I said, it's Rhodes' last hurrah, and I think that Rhodes is going to win this fight by knockout. Moving into December now, and we've got this is the last fight I'm going to talk about. Well, last bunch of fights anyway. Firstly, George Groves is fighting on the 9th of December. He's fighting against a opposition still to be determined. That means it's not going to be anyone any good. It'll just be someone from the Commonwealth or someone British, because I think they're both the British and Commonwealth titles are up for grabs. So it's just a keep busy fight for George, and then another learning curve. And then on the undercard, or this may be the actual main fight, is James DeGale versus Jose Maria Guerrero, and this is James making his first defence of his European title. Also on the undercard is Stephen Smith and Liam Smith against to be announced opposition. This fight is happening in Liverpool, and this is one that I shall be going to. Thank you. And then on another card, the next day is actually Theo Vane, which is an awesome name, versus Nigel Right. And I think that actually Theo Vane is defending the title for this one. He's making serious moves up the world rankings. I'm a big fan of Theo Vane, and I think that he doesn't do anything exceptional, but he does everything good. And I think that he should win this fight, and when he does, he'll be looking for a title fight. And I think he's the right guy for someone like Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley is just looking to hold on to his title now until he gets a call from Pac-Man, and this is the type of fight he needs, just someone to put on his record, just say I've beat this guy. Also on the undercard of that fight is a guy called Chris Edwards versus Sheep Bayar. Chris Edwards is like 40 years old now. He's aging, and Sheep Bayar is awesome. So I'm going to go for this one, even though Chris Edwards is very awkward. I'm going with Sheep Bayar for this one. And on the top one, obviously I'm going with Ashley Theophane. And I think that's all that I need to talk about. Tune in next month. Well, no, tune in January for the next instalment of Mr. EBN's Boxing Bonanza.